The three branches have been said according to the sequence, quote, completeness of hearing right dharma, close quote, quote, nirvana as the foremost importance, close quote, and, quote, maturation of the potential wisdom for liberation, close quote. In this way, the expanded meanings of the three branches of enlightened teachings are encompassed by the 10 types. Beyond this, there is none other, whether surpassing or supplementing it. Further, these 3 branches are to be known as the causes and conditions for cultivation of yoga. How is this so? Due to the dependence of these sequences, causes and conditions, one can then attain and complete the cultivation of yoga. Completeness of hearing right dharma, nirvana as the foremost importance, and maturation of the potential wisdom for liberation. What is meant by cultivation of countermeasures? It is to be known in brief that within the 3 positions there are 10 types of dharma that are countered in the cultivation of yoga. What is meant by 3 positions? 1. Position of laity. 2. Position of monastics. 3. Position of yoga cultivators who live distant from families. What is meant by 10 types of dharma countered by the cultivation of yoga? That is, in the lay position, with respect to one's spouse, there is greed resonating with sexual lust. With respect to one's relatives and friends and possessions, there is craving corresponding to perusal. This is what is named as dharma countered by the lay position. Due to these obstacles, one is unable to renounce all causes of suffering. Even if one renounces family life due to obstruction from the disturbances of pondering and thinking of such dharma, one does not rejoice nor delight in it. In this way, these 2 are the countered dharma, and it is to be known that the sequential cultivation of reflection of foulness and reflection of impermanence are cultivation of countermeasures for them. Further, for a monastic in his monastic life, one should constantly have, in brief, 4 types of actions. 1. Actions regarding frequent skillful cultivation of wholesome dharma. Dependent on my frequent skillful cultivation with respect to all dharma, I shall be able to subdue the mind accompanying craving and delight, and be able to realize the nature of suffering. 2. Actions regarding faith, understanding, and delight in the non-frivolous nirvana. With respect to the non-frivolous nirvana, I shall neither give up nor have sorrows or anxieties. Is there an I? Where is myself? 3. Actions regarding regular alms round among villages. Due to the alms food that I receive, my body can be sustained for a long time with strength and health, and be able to skillfully cultivate all wholesome dharma frequently. 4. Actions regarding abiding in secluded places. If one craves and delights in mixing with many lay people or monastics, there may arise various worldly, resonating, and distracting matters that are seen or heard. I shall not let such distractions obstruct me in right contemplation and attainment of concentration. With respect to these 4 types of activities, it is to be known that there are 4 dharma that are counted respectively. With the initial activity, laziness and indolence is countered. With the second activity, sakyaditi or identity view is countered. With the third activity, greed pertaining to craving of taste is countered. And with the fourth activity, all forms of worldly delight, desire, greed, and craving are countered. In this way, the 4 types of dharma that are countered have 4 types of cultivation countermeasures respectively. 1. With respect to impermanence, cultivate reflection of suffering, or dukkha. 2. With respect to the whole mass of suffering, cultivate reflection of non-self, or anatman. With respect to food, cultivate reflection of revulsion of food. With respect to all worldly matters, cultivate reflection of non-delightfulness. Further, with respect to the skillful mindset within the position of staying distant from families, it is to be known that there are 4 types of counter dharma. What are these 4? 1. With respect to both classes of samatha and vipassana, there is the obscured or hampered mind. With respect to the various concentrations, there is accompanying craving. With respect to the vitality of life, there is accompanying discursive thoughts. And 4. With the thinking that one will not die soon, one delays one practice and postpones to a later date, waiting for another time, and is unable to practice diligently. With these 4 types of counter dharma, it is to be known that there are 4 types of cultivation of countermeasures. 1. Cultivation of reflection of light. 2. Cultivation of reflection of eradication of lust, for dhyana. 3. Cultivation of reflection of cessation. And 4. Cultivation of reflection of death. Further, there are, in brief, 2 types of reflection of foulness. 1. Encompassed by contemplation and discernment power. 2. Encompassed by cultivation power. Within reflection of foulness, encompassed by contemplation and discernment power, it is to be known that there are 5 dharma that are countered. What are these 5? 1. Being close to womankind or females. 2. Loss of mindfulness when in the presence of females. 3. Living unrestrained while in solitude. 4. Due to habit tendency, one loses mindfulness in the presence of females and lives unrestrained while in solitude. And 5. Although one diligently, skillfully practices the cultivation of foulness contemplation, one's attention becomes disorderly. Not contemplating on foulness is named as improper attention. Within reflection of foulness, encompassed by power of cultivation, it is to be known that there are 7 dharma that are countered. What are these 7? They are 1. The distracted nature of the mind when one carries out one's actions or duties of a monastic. 2. The nature of the effect of delighting in various things whilst carrying out the actions or duties of a monastic. 3. The nature of being unskillful in one's attention is due to one's not being reverential or not being diligent in asking for advice and guidance. 4. Due to the inability to guard the sense doors, although one stays in solitude, one still has all types of defiled and impure pondering and thinking that disturbs and distracts the mind. 5. Due to not knowing one's limit for food, one's physical condition is not tuned for practices. 6. Due to the disturbances and distractions of pondering and thinking, one is neither delightful of being distant from impediments of concentration, nor delightful of the still samatha concentration within one's mind. And 7. Due to one's physical condition being not tuned, one is unable to skillfully practice vipassana or contemplation, and is unable to correctly examine all dharma in line with ultimate reality. In this way, it is to be known of the counter dharma that there are 12 in one aspect and 14 in another. Further, with reference to these counter dharma, there are corresponding white or wholesome dharma that are countermeasures. Regarding the practice of the 2 types of reflection of foulness, it is to be known that there are many effects.